Duluth Public Schools are finally installing solar panels thanks to the dedication of their students. The 40 members of the Duluth Climate Club worked for 7 years to advocate and lobby for the addition of solar panels. Well, today they saw the result of their work as installation began on the school district's administration building roof. Even during financial setbacks, students in the Climate Club work to find grants and financial solutions. It not only helped their cause, but also showed their determination.
It was definitely worth it, all the setbacks and everything, just because I feel like a lot of the kids in the group got good experience and built up some resilience when faced with some setbacks.
And originally, the Duluth School Board was hesitant to assist with the project due to recent budget issues. The Climate Club worked alongside the school board and Superintendent Magus to find financial solutions, including a $500,000 state grant.
I've really gotten to know these students really well and been really inspired by them too. They are just change agents. They work so hard to make a difference in the world and to think about their future.
Some serious stick-to-itiveness. To hear more student voices, the district will also be launching a new effort across all Duluth high schools. Student reps will be able to meet with the superintendent and advocate for what their schools need.